Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Dorothy Morgan, professional astrologer. We're going to talk about the astrology for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So June 17, 18, and 19. So we're going to go over that. Like right now. And then if we have time, I'll do an Astro Dice throw and a card if I have time. We'll see. So let's share the screen so you can see what I'm looking at, because I like to teach, and this is a way for you to learn. And even if you're not learning, you're not interested in this piece, you can still understand and get the energy for the weekend. So for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the energy, the way I like to do this, if you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to hit subscribe. The energy of this is like what the energy that we're all going to feel throughout the whole weekend, right? I'm going to divide it into the days, and this gives us some insight into what we can anticipate. It doesn't tell you exactly what's happening. It tells you the energy that's present. So then you're able to work with that or not work with it, or even sometimes just observe it in other people and recognize the energies that are present for the weekend. So let's get started. So for Friday here on the 17th, I've just picked a random time of day, just noontime, because there isn't anything overly specific that is catching my attention for today. However, what is catching my attention is later in the evening on a Friday the 16th, the moon entered the sign of Aquarius. And, there's a fixed analytical place for the moon to be. So we're going to be feeling a little rebellious. And that happened right around 6 p.m. on Thursday, the 16th. And so now that the moon is moving through Aquarius, it is going to be making aspects, especially the harder aspects to the fixed signs. So it'll be making hard aspects to Taurus, the planets in Taurus. So of course we have Venus there, we have Uranus there, and the lunar north node is in Taurus, south node is Scorpio. So when we have the moon there in Aquarius, it's going to come through, it's going to make its connections. However, right now, as you can see over here, it's not making any aspects. The aspectarian here shows us it's really not doing much of anything all morning, just a few minor things. Still too wide to Uranus to count, in my opinion. So I'm going to look over here in the declination, because there's always got to be something going on. And in declination, that's a different measurement. Here we have the moon and Uranus. The moon and Pluto are very much connected. It's what we consider it's called a parallel measurement. And so they act like a conjunction, and they've been that way for about more than 12 hours now. So basically all of the 17th, we have that analytical moon making a parallel connection to Pluto. So feels like a conjunction. So there is definitely people, and even you or I, feeling the need to take back our power, Pluto, create a sense of freedom, that Aquarius energy, or just step out of our comfort zone. And when we finally just take that step to do something that we've been wanting to do, we feel a sense of freedom, and then it creates in turn a powerful sort of domino effect. And so the moon will be there with Pluto for most of the day here on the 17th. So that's Friday. So that's what we have to work with. Mercury isn't quite out of its shadow yet. That happens on Sunday. So Mercury moving through Gemini at this point, it's starting to pick up speed. Let's go ahead. We're going to hit this report right here and just see how fast, if Mercury is moving fast. Now, yes, Mercury is finally, it's been 14 days since its last retrograde. It's now moving at a normal pace. The sun is moving slow because we're coming to that solstice. We talked about that the other day. We'll talk about it again in a couple days, but it's sitting still. So there's numerous things happening here, even though over here in the aspectarian, we don't have a lot going on with exact aspects. I've already talked about all of these separating aspects that are happening. And so we'll get into more for tomorrow, because we can see there's a few things coming. So tomorrow, the next day, so this is June 18th. So Saturday, June 18th, let's graduate to the next day. So here we have, this is the aspect between Venus and Saturn. If we go back to the 17th, we can still see that Venus is 23 and Saturn is 25. They're coming closer and closer. So we will feel this on the 16th, on the 17th, and the exact aspect on the 18th isn't until the evening, Eastern Daylight Time, 5:32 Eastern Daylight Time, PM. All right. So when they come together. So what does that mean? What do we feel with that? So this is fixed energy. This is a lot of fixed energy. So it can feel a little bit of a struggle. I mean, Venus rules Taurus. She's happy in this sign. She's loving it. She gets to really focus on those important things. So do you, because Venus is moving through Taurus. So your Taurus area of your natal chart is activated by Venus. So we all will feel we'll feel that sense of what do I value? What's important to me? Because Venus rules money. Taurus is what we love, what we value, how we earn money. You may be questioning how to take a hobby and turn it into an income. The square to Saturn might actually help you with that. It won't be a hobby anymore. So if you absolutely love it and you don't want it to be any more than a hobby, then don't turn it into a career choice. But then again, if we take what we love and value and love what we do, Venus in Taurus, squaring Saturn in Aquarius, then we might be able to break away from the mundaneness of a career that is not satisfactory to us anymore, that we have no passion for, and we could find a way to create that something that is quite satisfying in our life by doing something that we love or feels great. Venus in Taurus, what I love, what I value, square Saturn in Aquarius. It's like you got to break away from the old ways and the old patterns, old ways and old patterns that just are not satisfactory for me anymore. I have had this regularly with regular clients where they're not satisfied. Well, I wouldn't say satisfied. They're not happy in their job anymore. They don't feel very passionate about it. So it's time to start taking, this might be that inspiration for you too, time to take the things that you know, the skills and talents that you do have, that you use to earn a living, and then finding a way to turn that into something that feels more joyful, more satisfying, and just feeds the soul a little bit more. There's a number of different ways that this can play out. And again, depending on where these two zodiac signs are in your own chart will give you more insight. But again, overall, Saturday, you could be feeling some dissatisfaction in your career, your work, the routine that you have to follow. However, this square between Venus and Taurus, because she wants to do what we want to do, what we love when we have that Venus and Taurus, and it's activating our Taurus area, which is like, I want to earn more money. I want to play. I want to eat better food, whatever it is. We all have different wants and needs. All right, anything else? Because I'm going to look at my notes. I write this all out. Right, this is what I said. So one last little hint that this can do is this can stir up some insecurities and some fears around the finances that you have, the money that you're earning. It can stir that up. I'm not saying it has to, and don't plant that as a seed if you're perfectly fine. But for some people, this might stir up some insecurities around your finances or your earnings. And it can even stir up some insecurities around, your relationship. But Venus and Taurus definitely is more about the finances, what we love, what we value, and those types of things. All right, I'm going to move on. Sunday, the 19th. This is in the middle of, this is just after midnight Eastern Daylight Time. So for you on the West Coast, this is like 9 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 9 p.m. on the 18th, but here on the East Coast of the US and further east, it is on Sunday, the 19th. And that's when Venus sextiles Neptune. So it's all happening simultaneously, even though we have these different dates and different points in time. Guess what? Here's Venus at 25. Saturn's still at 25. Venus is still at 25. So Venus and Saturn are still in a square aspect. But what we have now is Venus making that sextile to Neptune. So that's going to soften the edge. That's going to help us find a flow. So even though weekends for a lot of people are, time off, it's not the truth for everybody. And even if it is time off, you might find and discover in your world that there's just some things that are too stressful. And it could very well be related to the money you earn through your career. That's Saturn and that's Venus. And you really value something more, whether it's more time, whether you deserve and need more money. Who doesn't need more money? There's a few I could name. So we have that energy and we feel that, and I want you to engage in that with yourself, okay? And just see what it feels and what it looks like to you. Now we also have on Sunday, this is the sun, here we go, Sunday sun. The sun makes a quincunx to Pluto. This is Father's Day, but this is the sun quincunx Pluto. That's again, as well, early in the morning here on the East Coast of the US. And so again, this can, not for everybody, but this can create some sort of power struggle, if you will. Earlier in the weekend, we had the moon with Pluto by parallel. And now the sun is actually making here in the zodiacal measurement is making that quincunx to Pluto. So that creates a bit of stress, if you ask me. There's stress, there's some adjustments that have to happen. The Gemini sun is about communicating and information, sharing information, talking, just a blast like that. Always vehicles. And then the adjustment, the Pluto adjustment, the quincunx makes the adjustment. And the Pluto, the energy of that is about that transforming. Like I've said before, find that 28 degrees. We're going to look between 26 and 28 degrees of Capricorn in your own chart, because Pluto's been right there. Just those couple degrees digging in a hole. And every time a planet is leaving a zodiac sign, like we have here with the sun leaving Gemini, it creates, it activates it some more. So there's some sort of illumination. Now, since this is in the middle of the night, it could be you experience it the day before or during the day, but we're not sure. So that's all I want to talk about right there. And so when we get to back here, let's go back to early in the morning on the 19th. Yeah. So we're going back to the 18th. Where's Mercury? It's at 4 degrees. There you go. Mercury is out of its shadow on Saturday, the 18th. So for those of you who really follow that and think that has a huge impact in your life, well, now it's go time. So anything that goes wrong now is just your fault. I read that somewhere. I thought that was rather funny. It is. We don't want to blame. This is my main thing. We do not need to blame the planets, the stars, for making something happen. Oh, hey. I'm going to hit pause. That means my dinner's done. Sorry about that. I didn't think this would take 15 minutes. Because I turned it on before I started. Cooking some chicken. I wanted to make sure not to burn it. I shouldn't cook and work at the same time because it could create a problem. All right. I'm going to move on to some of the Astro Dice. I completely lost track of where I was. So let's do the Astro Dice. And the Astro Dice, one dice is the house, 12 houses. One is the 12 signs, and the other is the 10 planets plus the North and South node. So it's just an extra message from Spirit. And I just rolled it as I was talking, and that would be Mars in Taurus in the 5th house. So over the weekend, play with your children, have fun. Over the weekend, because I roll it for the whole weekend, Mars in Taurus in the 5th house. 5th houses are children, if you have them. It's what we have, how we have fun, what we're passionate about, what we really get our heart behind. And Mars is saying, do it, take action. So even though over the weekend we have some things that are creating some stress, and you may go into the weekend with that stress, you may, Again, not everybody. Spending some time discovering over the weekend, playing, having fun, relaxing, and figuring out what it is it makes you happy, is satisfying to you. That's Mars in Taurus in the 5th house. Make sure you get out there and play. I'm working my butt off for about 4 days now. So Saturday, I'm getting out on the kayak. I don't know what tribal spiritual dancer is. We'll have to look that one up. That one's about playing and having fun. That's really what that is. Getting out on the water. Spirit of water on the bottom. So getting out on the water. That's the ocean. I was there yesterday, but only for a couple minutes. Tribal spiritual dancer. I don't know this card, so I'm going to have to look it up. I think it has a lot to do with playing, again, the letting go, saying yes to life. Yeah, dance to your heart desires. Get out there and explore life and play and have fun. All the elements are represented in this card too. This fell out when I was shuffling. You can see the birds in the air, and then the water, and there's fire, and then of course the earth. So get out there and play and have fun. And that's what these are too. If you don't know, those are the 4 elemental symbols. And so get out there, that beautiful tribal spiritual dancer. Get out there, play, have fun, explore your life. Yeah, and don't make excuses. Even if you could just go out and find something for, a couple hours just to break up your day, I would recommend that you do that. And that's our weekend forecast. So I will see you again on Monday, everybody. And please share this in your groups if this is something that appeals to you. And have a great weekend, and namaste.